Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm super excited to bring you this video today. We are diving into Flashpoint Campaign Red Storm. It's going to be a short tutorial. But before we get started, if you like military strategy, tactics, or doctrine and seeing it applied to strategy games, this is definitely the channel for you. So make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll also be starting a Patreon at 1,000 subscribers, I guess. Probably just going to be $1 or $5. So let's get right into this. This is going to be a brief movement tutorial. I like this game because it talks a lot about sea burning, and we talk about a lot of strategies that we don't cover in like combat mission or armor brigade. There's a lot of water crossing points. We can blow bridges in this game. There's persistent sea burning effects. We can build bridges. The game is 10 years old. This will be redone as DLC for the Southern Storm game that's coming out Q2, Q3 of this year. So just in this video, I just wanted to cover a brief movement tutorial if anyone picks it up, because I know that's one thing I was struggling with. So if you select this unit right here, any unit really, your artillery units are going to be a bit different, and your helicopters are going to be different. We'll dive into those at a later date if you guys like this video. So we just want to move and secure this point. As you can see, I already have 3 waypoints out. I just want you guys to see a few turns as well, to see what the game actually is and if it's something you'll be interested in, because I think the tactics really go hand in hand with this channel. I think the strategy as well. We can talk about a lot of water crossing points. I know I keep saying that, but those are really key in conflict. You blow bridges, you ferry supplies across them, you need to build bridges. Logistics is really the backbone of a lot of operations. And this game allows you to do counter logistics or counter movement. So if we ever wanted to like blow a bridge, if we wanted to just do a full blitz and secure these 1,500 points down here, we could send our combat engineers to blow this bridge, and effectively all these units over here lose access to this bridge or this bridge, and therefore either need to build a bridge themselves or hunker down into these villages and eventually push us off this, build a bridge, or reroute. So that's one reason why I really like this game. It adds another dynamic to our wargaming that we don't typically talk about. So let's do some movement tutorials. So if we zoom back in over here, we're just going to select this Bradley. We just left click on him and we right click. When you right click, it brings up this menu. You're presented with assault, move deliberate, move hasty, screen, hold, build bridge, blow bridge, resupply. So assault is when you're going to be going into a contested area or moving into a contested area. Your units are going to be ready to attack. They're going to be moving fairly quickly, and they're going to be more spread out. Whereas move deliberate, they're going to move, and then when they get to their position, they're going to go into a hold pattern, which is this one right here, which means they start digging in at the end of their movement phase, and they take a defensive posture, and they're harder to force off that hex, which is slightly different than screen. So move, you're expecting to come into some sort of move deliberate. You're expecting to come into some sort of contact. When you get to that position, your units are ready to engage. They're ready to dig in and take up a defensive posture or presence. Next, you have move hasty. Your units are going to move around 50 meters apart in a column formation. If we learned anything from the UKR conflict or anything from columns from Granzi, do not move in a column formation through urban areas or down areas that you aren't sure if they're secure. I mean, you blow the first car, you blow the last car, and then it's just a crapshoot. And it's like shooting fish in a barrel, just taking everyone out in that convoy. So your hexes or your units are going to be more vulnerable. They're not going to take a defensive posture. They're going to go more towards screen when they get to their destination, and then once at their destination, they'll take that screen posture, which they can easily be pushed off a hex and be forced either out of the woods, out of the urban environment, or just destroyed completely. Next, you have just a generic hold. If you weren't going to move your units at all, you would just put them in a hold position. They would dig in. They would just take a defensive presence, a defensive posture, and they'll just hang out in that location and fight the enemy off. They're going to be less likely to be forced off out of their position. It's just a good thing to use in a defensive posture. Next, we have build bridge, blow bridge. Those are kind of self-explanatory. We'll go over those these in a different tutorial. And resupply, you really need to be close to your HQ units. I mean, right on top of them, from what I've learned. So when you move for a resupply, if you were going to select resupply, right, zoom out, we right click, resupply, we would need to move first, and then, so we go move deliberate to this unit, enter, and then when he arrives, we'll select him for resupply, right, see, and he's going to move deliberately to this area and then resupply. We can also delete this waypoint if we don't like it by right clicking it. We can edit it, or we can hit cancel, and we can right click and we can delete the waypoint. We can click back on this unit, and we can give him the path we wanted to him before. So if we left click him again, and we right click to bring up our menu, we give him move hasty, and it's best to stay on the road because that's how your units are going to move. We can follow this road where we kind of want to get to our position right here, and then when we get up here, you can only have up to 3 target reference points or movement points, waypoints. They're called TRPs as well. Here we can select, when he gets to this 3rd waypoint, right, you can select ground forces, dig in and take defensive. They can also use cover and take a standoff from 3 enemy hexes, on call if it were artillery, or rest and resupply. So we're just going to go into a defensive presence or a defensive posture over here, and we're going to provide overwatch on this town. All our other units, and we're going to hit enter, and that's going to solidify it, or we just click back on the unit. All of our units are already marked to move, as you can see. I just want you guys to see a few turns. So that's just a real basic movement tutorial. The game then starts to play itself similar to combat mission. Units begin to move into the position, they take up the presence, and they just move along the road. Ideally, I've moved all these units. Originally, they were in a long line formation. The enemy also begins to move, so it's kind of a we go combat, like similar to combat mission. The enemy moves, you move. Enemy moves, you move. It's turn-based, so over here, we see 13 minutes are elapsing, and we have 12 hours. So the time's incremental. So it'll go from 15 minutes, 16 minutes, 17 minutes, all the way up to 20 from what I've seen, and then you go... That's like apparently 3 to 4 turns an hour. It like compressed in this game. So at the end of this turn, we would have progressed 15 minutes of our 12 hours of allotted time. This is a small scenario. We have a small little traffic jam right here. We should have displaced these units a bit more. It looks like that Bradley and back's a bit faster. All our units are going to move into position, and then we're going to do a quick reassessment once it's done. So this is like a World War III scenario. It's all modern warfare, all Cold War. You have precision weapons, you have ATGMs, you have SAMs, you have all kinds of modern technologies that you can use. All kinds of weapon systems, you have persistent sea burning effects, you have water crossing points, you have urban warfare, you have asymmetric. If you were a smaller force like what we are, we're a smaller force, and this force over here is much larger than us. They also get reinforced in this scenario, which creates a massive headache. So we need to take strong defensive. We need to be strong and defensive. So we're almost done. As you can see, we only have 5 minutes left of this turn. We're probably not going to see any conflict until like turn 5 or 6. We're not going to run this video for that long. It's meant to just be a short introduction. If you want to see more Red Storm, let me know down in the comments below. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. We can talk more about it. We can talk water crossings, the Battle of Rapido, and why they're critical. And have a wonderful day. Peace out.